My grandmother was a strange woman. She came to Australia from the old country ages ago. Although, she didn't really speak about it often. And to this day, I'm not sure which old country she meant. My friends were more than a little afraid of her. Shuttered up in her crumbling little fibro house a few doors down from us. They called her a witch behind my back. But she was never anything but gentle and kind to everyone she met. She lived longer than most, finally passing last year at the ripe old age of 102. It was kind of strange having such an old grandmother, but because of her tumultuous upbringing, she didn't marry until she was in her 40s and had my mother, her little miracle, when she was nearly 50. In her will, she left me a beautiful antique pendant and a note that simply said, "For as long as you wear this, your guardian angel will keep you safe from all harm." I didn't believe in that sort of thing, but that pendant became a permanent fixture around my neck anyway. It was beautiful, and it reminded me of her. One last physical trinket connecting me to her memory. About a month ago, I was at a party for the start of the new year at uni. This absolute creep made a pass at me. He was okay looking, but he was definitely a bro, sleazy as fuck, wearing a shirt 3 sizes too small and stinking of Bundy and cigarettes. As politely and firmly as I could muster, I shot him down. His macho mates all giggled at his failure, and I went back to my friends. A few hours later, the party was winding down. Being from out of town, I've lived on campus for the last 2 years, so it was an easy stumble back to the dorm building. I saw my friends into an Uber and set off across campus, still buzzed from the alcohol. I'd probably made it a few hundred metres when a figure stepped out of a garden to the right of the path. Before I could react, I'd been dragged into the bushes and shoved roughly into the tan bark. I felt my shirt tearing and panic hit me like a train. But there was a hand clamped over my mouth, firm as iron.
"Do you really think you can shoot me down, you little cunt?"
The stench of Bundy and cigarettes overwhelmed me. Oh, fuck. A second hand grappling with my jeans button and a feeling of utter helplessness. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't calm my breathing either, and my vision began to tunnel. What the fuck? Suddenly, the hand that was working its way down my pants vanished. The pressure on my mouth and nose lessened. Then, my assailant was dragged bodily off me. I heard a meaty crunch, a gurgle, and then a heavy thud. For a moment or two, I didn't even move, as though that would stop him from coming back. I could hear movement behind me still, and I had just decided to run when a gravelly voice spoke up.
"Sorry I took so long. Won't happen again."
Wait, what? I turned around and gasped. Standing in front of me, over the crumpled form of the piece of bro garbage who had just pinned me to the ground just moments earlier, was a tall, lithe figure. I say figure because a person he was not. He stood on 2 legs, and he had 2 arms and a head. But that was about as human as he got. He had skin the colour of dried blood, horns sprouting from his shoulders, a long whip-like tail, glowing yellow eyes. He didn't look like much of a saviour, really. I think I'd have shat myself if it wasn't for his apology. "What do you mean sorry?" I shook my head. How much did I drink again? Still, he was looking at me, puzzled. Should I let him know I'm okay? What the fuck do I say? Hi? I nodded at the bro. Is he dead?
Damn, Skippy, he is. And not a moment too soon, eh? A disgusting fuck. You would not have been his first.
Right. Yes. Who are you exactly? I mean, thanks and all, obviously. Sorry, this is pretty odd. He gave a devilish grin. Devilish, showing off a dizzying number of sparkling shark-like teeth.
Me? I'm your guardian angel, mate,
he said with a flourish. but I must have looked skeptical because his grin faded, his voice becoming glum.
Hey, now what's that look about, eh?
Nothing. It's just, well, I mean, you're not exactly what I think of when someone says the word angel, is all.
Yeah, it's okay. I get it. Say angel and everyone wants some well-spoken, sparkly-winged toff pricks. Think they got a mortgage on the word angel.
His voice faded to a dark mutter as he turned to leave. Wait, please don't go. I didn't mean to offend you. This is just a lot for me to process.
Nah, it's okay, kid. It's not your fault. Truth is, you're not far wrong. Technically, I'm not an angel. Not so much.
Part of me wanted to say, duh, but I bit my tongue, not wanting to offend him further. He turned back and sat down next to me in the tan bark, smelling strongly, but not unpleasantly like an erupting volcano.
Look, here's how it works. You don't just get a guardian angel. There's a ritual you gotta do first. And you can't just get one yourself either, it doesn't work that way. You can only do the ritual for someone else, someone you care about.
He nodded at the pendant, exposed on my chest by the earlier violence.
Your grandma. She did the ritual for you, before she died. Bound a guardian to that pendant. But she was getting on. She messed up a few bits. It happens amazingly often, actually. Long story short, instead of an angel, you got me.
I digested this information for a moment. Oh, okay, cool. And what are you? 'Cause I mean, you look an awful lot like a demon? He grinned again.
I suppose you could say that. You lot have called us that for a long time now, so... if that works for you, I don't mind. I mean, there's a lot more to demons than just demons. You got the devils and imps and sprites and goblins and familiars and all sorts of shit. We're all distinct species, you know, just like you guys. But, yeah, you've had a rough couple of minutes, so we can just stick with demon for now.
Right. So you're, evil? He laughed at that, a surprisingly musical and pleasant sound.
Listen, sweetheart, you got us all wrong. Angels, demons, we're all on the same side. Only difference is, us demons, we aren't afraid to get our hands dirty.
He shifted lazily, stretching out a bit like a cat.
Look, you see, angels are all a bit high and mighty. A little bit snobby, you know? They've got all these powers and they've become all righteous and noble and preachy and shit. Works fine, to a point. But, you know, there comes a time when you just gotta dig in and spill some fucking blood.
He flicked his hand dismissively at the rapidly cooling corpse.
You see, guys like him, angels want to reason with. They want to fix him up, whisk him off to other dimensions, show him the error of his ways. Me? I say dudes like that don't deserve it. You reap what you sow. It's not like he made a fucking mistake. He didn't fucking slip one day and oops, oh dear, this is unfortunate, I guess I'm a fucking rapist now. Old mate was fucked in the head. Thought he deserved to be able to just take what he wanted. No guarantee he doesn't have a skinful in a few years' time and slip right back to being his shitty old pre-angel self. With guys like me at your back, things are much simpler. These fuckwits get what they got coming.
I looked over the former bro and must admit, I didn't feel the slightest touch of sympathy for the sleazebag who had just tried to rape me. Who'd have thought demons are actually the good guys?
Well, I wouldn't quite go that far. I mean, are all humans good? It's same shit. Demons and angels, we walk a very fucking fine line. Sometimes, someone falls over it, just like people do. Or some are just fucking dicks too. You ever heard of poltergeists? Those are just demons fucking with people. Kinda our version of those shithead YouTube pranksters.
I have to say, the idea of some demons giggling uncontrollably at one of their mates freaking out some poor, unsuspecting humans by pulling everything out of the kitchen did make me smile a little. So wait, every time I'm in danger, you're going to rock up and save me, even if I'm surrounded by hundreds of people. I can see that raising a few eyebrows.
Darling, I like you. Look, thing is, only you can see me, so it wouldn't even matter. And look, I'm not here to stop you tripping over a fucking pot plant, unless that'd cause you to, break your neck or something, potentially fatal. We can only intervene when the likely outcome is serious harm or death. You'll have to wear that broken... Actually, forget I said that.
I couldn't tell if he was joking or not.
Anyway, it's getting late. Let's get you back home.
He clicked his fingers, and suddenly we were sitting in my dorm on my bed. Whoa! What the fuck? You can click your fingers and just appear somewhere else.
Nah, not really. The click is just for dramatic effect.
He grinned at the look on my face.
You go get some sleep now, eh? I'll take care of that sleaze bag. No worries at all. See you around.
With that, he started to fade as though he was blurring out or something. Wait! He snapped back into focus. You didn't even tell me your name. He looked genuinely taken aback at that.
Honestly, no one's ever asked for it.
But you do have a name, right? He grinned again.
Course I have a name. Don't much like it though. It's a little bit, aggressive.
Well, what about a nickname? I have to call you something.
Tell you what, a proper nickname is given to you, right? So, why don't you give me a nickname?
I thought about it for a minute before realising I had the perfect name ready to go. He was looking at me, trying to pretend he couldn't care less. But I felt like he was well out of his comfort zone. How about Harry? There was a pause, and he burst out laughing.
Harry. A 7-foot-tall demon from fuck knows what dimension. And you pick Harry.
It was my turn to grin now. Hear me out. When I was little, I used to get bullied a bit, so I made up an imaginary friend. And his name was Harry. He protected me from the bullies. Of course he wasn't real, so he didn't do a very good job. But I think it fits, especially if only I can see you. For all I know, you are imaginary, and I've gone completely mental. His smile had faded, and not in an upset way. Can a demon look moved? Because I feel like he looked moved just then.
Harry, huh? Harry. Well, as far as my first ever nickname goes, I guess it could be worse.
He started to fade out again.
I've really got to go this time, alright? But hey, if you ever need me, outside of a life or death situation, just call. It'll work. I promise.
He nodded to my phone, which had somehow made its way to the bed right next to me, and then he blinked out. Sure enough, at the very top of my contacts list was a new entry. It just said Harry, and it had no number or anything else besides a call button. But I suppose that's to be expected. I'm not sure Optus covers calls to the 9th dimension anyway.